Hello, Ron. This is a book haul ish and reading plan for Historathon 2025 Q1, involving Greek, Roman, and European books. Okay, so well, diving straight in. That is my initial project, which I've kind of sort of started already for January. And it was a new purchase very recently as well, and a fantastic book it is as well. If you don't have that, I'm sure I've seen other people. Maybe people were talking about this for last year, but that'll be me anyway. Lovely book, big old thing. Yeah, that's how big it is, and that's sort of a typical kind of thing. Yep. Lots of illustrations, amazing illustrations as well. Yeah. Like, for instance, that one. So yes, that's the first book, but that's kind of the first of. I'm dividing up Q1 into three projects. I'm not really kind of doing a kind of a pile of possibilities here. These are just this is more like my reading plan. The main hosts for Historathon have their pile of possibilities, and they're probably better qualified than me to suggest things. But nonetheless, I've got a few here, got a few books here that have ended up being my ambitious reading project. So I've divided the quarter of the year into three projects for each month, and the Cunliffe is involved in January. But the other books for January include this, which is also, yeah, I bought this a little while. It's been on my shelves, looking all right. That's what it looks like. Toby Wilkinson is Egyptologist and Cambridge University guy, so I'm pretty hopeful that this will be good enough for me. There's that one. This is also a new purchase with a good front cover, with the winner of the Wolfson Prize, David Afalafia's The Boundless Sea paperback version. Lots of it. This is a chunker. This is a full-on chunker. 800 plus. Illustrations. There's 4 sets of color plates. So yeah, that one takes us beyond Europe, kind of thing, I guess. And I had thought about having a look at his Great Sea, which is just the Mediterranean, and I think I have that on audiobook, so I might be able to sneak that one in during the day, maybe, if possible. But otherwise, the other one for project for January, for project number 1, is the first volume from the Penguin History of Europe series. This is only a kind of a littleish volume. This is about 330 pages max. So with any luck, I can knock that one out and really get involved in what it has to say. So yeah, there's that one. Okay, so that's sort of kind of the first project for January. The second one for February involves kind of, well, sort of a Plato, Aristotle kind of thing. So one of the ones is this, The Last Days of Socrates, which ties in with this guy reading great ideas. I should have just making a note of his name. He's knocking around anyway on BookTube. He has a fantastic series things about the apology in here. So yeah, I've already started that. Yeah, and yeah, how about that? It's 2,400 years ago, and apparently a fellow called Socrates is saying these words, which is just unreal. Okay, yeah. And then sort of to tie in, because obviously, classical world and regular history, but next to that, maybe in parallel to that, literally what these actual people are actually saying at the time, what people are actually saying. So we've got Aristotle's students finding out all sorts of stuff and knocking together the Athenian constitution. And then Aristotle himself with his politics. And I've read some stuff of this and the intro and whatnot, which is quite surprising, really, in a way. I didn't find it particularly taxing. Was I expecting something? Might people be expecting really hard to understand? Yeah. But no, it seems quite readable, surprisingly enough. So yeah, and then tying in with that, something to do with ethics. So I managed to get this one. This is apparently the actual prescribed text for students at I think Cambridge or Oxford or both of them or something. So I'm kind of pleased to have the exact thing that those guys are being referred to. Yep, I mean, why not? But of course, with philosophy and ethics, we're going to run into religion, and I know this goes into the Roman period. But what a book! I mean, I suppose in a way it's a kind of classic kind of black background and so forth. But yeah, The Religions of Rome by Mary Beard, John North, and Simon Price. Hopefully gives a tremendous, folding out some kind of reckoning and understanding of what these people are, what they're playing at, what they're up to. But all of that leads into March and project number 3, and that is Tom Holland's Persian Fire. And there's that one. And I'm going to read that with Herodotus's histories. Yeah. It seems apposite to end Q1 with these two books. In my humble opinion. I had a look at the intros of both these, and funnily enough, read the first 4 or 5 pages of Herodotus' histories last night, what gets highlighted is a not insignificant perspective. Presumably, it's familiar enough to the general reader of history. But in the Tom Holland book, he says, "The world is an infinite place, and one man's truth might easily be another's lie." So, if that's a little bit head scratching, well, we are told now and again by some that difference breeds suspicion. And suspicion breeds war. And therefore, there is a question. What, amongst others, what does the other think of us? What do other peoples and nations make of the West? For example, in a faraway past, wasn't Europe viewed as a place irreconcilably alien, and that Europeans would always be the enemy, and not just since 1979? Charting back to the 6th and 5th centuries BC, seeing Europe from a vantage point in a settlement by the river Euphrates. What is the reason for such a view, discernible and discoverable, almost literally, I guess, out of the mists of time and history? For such a reality did and has existed in the minds of some. So could the reason have been the kidnapping of a beautiful princess, probably with dark, flowing, iridescent, and eternal hair, that acted as the catalyst that started everything off? Or perhaps it was the destruction of Troy that entrenched the categorical mindset. With any luck, these two books will assist in unraveling and breaking the code to these problems that were Greek problems at first, but are perhaps everyone's problems nowadays. So, yeah, if I get through that lot, I'll have done well, and I will deserve some serious celebrations. But if I don't, then well, I'll have had a look at some pretty darn interesting stuff. So yeah, best of luck with Q1, and